Fuel Cell Technology by Lauren Williams. The history of the fuel cell. In 1889, Charles Langer and Ludwig Mond coined the term fuel cell. They designed the first practical fuel cell. By 1932, Francis Bacon developed the first successful fuel cell device. He used hydrogen and oxygen cell. In 1959, Bacon demonstrated 5 kilowatt fuel cell system. And by the late 1950s, NASA started using fuel cell technology, and they funded hundreds of research contracts. What is a fuel cell? A fuel cell generates electricity, namely with oxygen and hydrogen, and it creates very little pollution. 5 main types of fuel cells. First one is the alkali. Second one is molten carbonate. Third one is phosphoric acid. The fourth one is polymer electrolyte membrane. And the fifth is solid oxide. The alkali fuel cell. It's the first fuel cell technology. It operates on compressed hydrogen and oxygen, and it is very efficient. Its efficiency range can go up to 70%, and is used in NASA programs. Some of the disadvantages of the alkali fuel cell: it creates CO2 poisoning, which makes it very costly. It does not currently maintain high operating hours. Currently, it's at 8,000 hours, and in order for it to be economically viable, it needs to be up to 40 hours. The second one is the molten carbonate. It uses salt carbonates as its electrolyte. Its efficiency ranges from 60 to 80%. It is used in very high temperatures, 650 degrees Celsius or 1,202 degrees Fahrenheit. Some of the advantages is it's developmental. It can be used in natural gas plants or coal-based power plants, and it also offers cost reductions. Some of the disadvantages is not likely to be used in a home because of the high temperatures, and it's not very durable. The third one is the phosphoric acid. It uses phosphoric acid as its electrolyte. Its efficiency ranges from 40 to 80%, and it's the most mature cell type. Some of the advantages is the first to be used commercially, used for stationary power generation, and it's used to power large vehicles, for example, city buses. A disadvantage is that it's expensive. The fourth fuel cell is the polymer electrolyte membrane. It uses the solid polymer as an electrolyte. Its efficiency ranges from 40 to 50%, and it needs hydrogen, oxygen, and water to operate. Some of the advantages is that it's flexible, which means that it doesn't create leaks or cracks, which makes it suitable for cars and homes. It's very favorable for passenger vehicles like a car or a bus, and the low temperature allows for a quick startup. Some of the disadvantages is that it's costly, and it needs to be purified because of the carbon dioxide poisoning. Solid oxide uses a hard ceramic compound of metal oxides as the electrolyte. Its efficiency ranges or can go up to 60%. It operates at high temperatures, like 1,000 degrees Celsius or 1,830 degrees Fahrenheit. The advantages to using a solid oxide fuel cell is that it's mostly sulfur resistant. It's not poisoned by carbon monoxide. Some of the disadvantages is that it's a slow start because of its high temperature, and it's not as durable. And then now I'm going to talk about the difference between a fuel cell, a battery-powered, and a gasoline-powered car. So the fuel cell. The fuel cell is powered with pure oxygen. It converts 80% of its energy into electrical energy, and it will convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy, which will then create an overall efficiency to about 64%. Compared to a gasoline-powered car, it is very low efficiency, and it does not use the heat efficiently, which then decreases its overall efficiency to about 20%, which makes it so much lower than a fuel cell car that I don't see how how car manufacturers are going to keep producing a gasoline-powered car. And then the third one is the battery-powered car, and it has a much more complicated system. Oh, the overall battery has around a 72% efficiency. However, the charging of the vehicle causes a decrease in efficiency, which then creates the total efficiency to about 26%, which is not much higher than a gasoline-powered car. Overall, for fuel cell cars, currently most fuel cell cars are sold in other countries besides the United States. The United States started to put up concept cars, for example, like the Honda FCX Clarity and the Mercedes-Benz F-Cell. Most fuel cell cars use polymer exchange fuel cells. Some of the advantages to using fuel cell technology in cars is that they emit no greenhouse gases. All they do is produce water vapor. It would also reduce fuel consumption between 30 to 90%. It's simpler to design. It could reduce oil consumption. It could also produce continuous energy, and it would make the United States less dependent on other countries. Some of the disadvantages are that fuel cells are very expensive, especially if parts break, because it's such a new scientifically investment that if a part breaks, you're more than likely to pay more money. Another disadvantage is that it's not durable or reliable, and because it uses all fuel cells use hydrogen, it could create a hydrogen shortage. And that's all I have for you about fuel cells. Thank you for listening.